What's up, everybody? How each and every one of y'all doing? For me, I'm doing blessed, and I'm always feeling highly favored, and I know I'm always highly favored. I really hope you all are doing blessed. Hope y'all feeling prosperous, cause each and every one of y'all prosperous. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start my talk. All right, if you want to distribute or if you want to send them to other people, then I can send them to your PO box or mail address, however you would love for me to send it to you. I hope you all are really having a wonderful day because I'm having a wonderful day and y'all deserve to have a wonderful day. All right, now today's topic we are going to be talking about God's timing. Now, there's a special reason why it has to be God's timing and why it's not our timing. But with that, we also have to focus on our patience for when it is God's timing. And another thing, you have to focus on the future because when you focus on the future, you're able to wait. You're able to wait on God's timing. But if you don't wait on God's timing, then you'll run short. But number one is going to be focus on patience. Now, focus on patience like how I say, patience without the strategy, it doesn't work. Strategy without patience, that doesn't work either. Patience help you, patience help you prepare for longevity. Longevity meaning, waiting or patience. They're pretty much synonyms. All right, and so you have to focus on patience because when you notice like how when people don't have patience, their blessings get cut short. And that's why I don't want y'all to get y'all blessings cut short. Because I remember I used to be impatient about other things in life. The next you know, I'll get little value, and little pleasure. But you can get little pleasure off of both. But it depends on what timing. If you wait on the long run, when you do the long run, or you do worry about God's timing, you might get you'll get little pleasure right here, but from here on out to the rest of your life will be nothing but prosperous. And so I'd rather suffer now and be excellent in the future, while be a constant flow now and struggle paycheck to paycheck every single week. And so that's a part of the thing of God's patience. Because I mean, not God's patience, God's timing, but we have to put our patience into works. So because patience, I don't know, patience. If you don't have patience, you can end up being greedy. You can end up quarreling. Quarreling is something like fighting one another and killing one another for like material things, so to speak. Then you start to get jealous. You start to envy, and then once you understand that you need to have longevity, then you will be able to withhold all the fleshly desires. Like for example, I used to be like, man, I want some shoe. Well, you got $25 for the week. What you gonna do? I'm like, I ain't gonna sell for no shoes. I'm gonna give me some food and water, and try some gas. Look, that's that longevity. You gotta be able to do long suffering through everything because through patience comes progression. Through practice also comes progression. So practice and patience, they both come into progression. Those are the three P's, all right? That's the equation I want to put together. Practice, patience equals progression. Now, the certain type of practice that you are doing, that depends because if you practicing a craft and you keep on messing up, you're messing up and you're doing it carelessly, that will not get you progression. True practice and the true definition of patience will get you progression. All right, and number two, the reasoning for God's timing. There's a reason why it is not. I mean, that why it's not our timing and why it is God's timing. The reason for God's timing is because we're not ready to accept some of the things that the Lord has in store for us. Once again, he wants to be able to know what can we handle, what is our capacity. We say, "Oh, I can handle $1 million," but next thing you know, we spending paycheck for our desires. Then we come up short on tithes. No, no, no. we come up short on bills, then we feel sorry that we can't do tithes at the end. You can't feel sorry at the end. You can't, because God's timing is first. So therefore, if you want God to do things the way that you want him to do it, then therefore you need to at least put some work into the Lord and say, okay, Lord, I trust you. I'm gonna put 10% tithes in. That's all he asked for financially. Financially, he just asked for 10%. For somebody who watches me while I sleep, takes care of my heart rate, takes care of my limbs, allows me to speak. He deserves more than 10%. But like I believe I said in other videos, we can only give him praise, worship, and 10% tithes, because in earthly ways, how else can we pay him? There's no other way. You can't pay him with finances, because the things that the Lord had done for us cannot be paid in wealth. So in exchange for what he has done for us, in exchange for his timing, we must be human sacrifices. Human sacrifices in the spirit, meaning sacrifice your fleshly desires, come to the spiritual desires, and then work for his good. And excuse me. And so that's what I have to say for God's timing, because God's timing, it has, well, first of all, God is above time, because God created time. Therefore, it cannot be on our time. And that's one of the things we mess up as a unit. We're trying to do things in a certain time, a 9 to 5 time. Some businesses do it in time. Okay, I want to finish this in time. Once I started my business, I noticed I can't do this in time. That's why I do appointments. Appointments are not time. I instantly perfect my craft through appointments, because I have to break the time. I'm breaking the time barrier, because financially, if you're doing everything based off of time, or is rated by time, or a constant rate of time, you won't have time for family, won't have time for your kids, won't have time for your companion. Therefore, we can try and exist in time, but it never works out in our favor, and we end up losing sleep. We end up losing time with family and time with our loved ones. That's why we have to try our best to live. We can't live outside of time, but we have to think of ways. Hey, how can we create more time for us? Creating more time, I mean, how can we create more time for our family members, create more time for our loved ones? And when we do things in our time, everything goes wrong. Let's see, like I said, lots of time with family, lots of time with your kids and your companion, possibly your friends, and then we're trying to force our brain to go through all of these things. You can force your brain to go through all these things, but don't do it more than it cannot bear. I understand you're trying to get to that success. I'm trying to get to success too, but I'm gonna do what I can bear. Cause I cannot sleep less than 3 hours for right now. But I'm pretty sure when I get older and older, and I start getting them calls, it's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna come in during that time. During that time, you can make it to a destination at a certain time, but that doesn't mean you have to work through their time. I work 3 to 10. That's the only time I work on time, because I'm trying to use that time to benefit time freedom. Time freedom on the life that I have on earth. So you use the thing that I was meant for as labor, or like an indentured servant, and then you try to bring it out into the world, that world that you want to make, that you want to craft together. And yeah, that's all I have to say for reasoning for God's timing, because there's multiple ways for why everything should be God's timing. Everything should be in His glory. All right. So number three, you got to focus on the future. We have to focus on the future. Once again, I said longevity. You focus on the future, you won't worry about what's supposed to come up tomorrow. Because when you're focusing on the future, you never know if you're going to get blessed tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to take a L tomorrow. So you focus on your future, then you realize, hey, I'm in this for the long run. I'm not here to become successful in a year or two. If it takes 5 to 10, so be it. So focusing on the future always comes hand in hand with every objective of life, because then you're not trying to rush, but yet you're not trying to waste time. But when you're trying to do it right now, you're trying to get success right now, you you lose the success routine, you lose everything that counts with success, and then you get no value out of it. You have no value out of it. So that's why I first I was like, man, I'm trying to get successful 1 or 2 years. So I had to learn that it's not about that. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just add value to it. I'm gonna add value to it. And do some things for free, because sometimes you have to do a free trial, because you have to be able. Nobody can test your stuff if you don't give them a trial. All right. Now, most people might through somebody speaking through you as like a commissioner, but most people they're scared nowadays. People are scared to try stuff. So you have to do you have to do like the flow of the customers. You have to be able to do free trials, because you notice like when people drive cars, they get a free trial of how to drive the car. Are you gonna purchase the car you don't know how it drives? You won't know. Why would I purchase a car if I don't know how it drives? There's no shame in other business owners saying that they don't do that, but you gotta give people at least a free trial to see if you worth it. Are you worth their time? Because God blessed us all with time. Through life there is time. Life the life that the Lord gave us came with time. He was like, all right, you're gonna have 24 hours to roam the earth each day. Six is probably 5 to 8 hours. People sleep. I sleep about 5, 8 hours. People sleep. Worry now. Do you have the rest of the you have rest of the hours to do whatever you want to do? That's what the Lord is saying. We have the rest of the time to do what we want to do. But the sad thing is, some of us just choose to relax more than we praise the Lord. And what I mean by that, majority of individuals, because I was once that individual that would just be, I mean, I'm finna relax. I'll just praise the Lord another day. But I'm glad I don't do that anymore, because once we put the Lord first, then our future becomes brighter. All right. All right. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope everybody remains prosperous. Remain prosperous. Remain focused on the future, because do not have longevity, have patience, focus on the future, okay? And focus on patience and understand the reasoning for God's timing. All right, and here's my another announcement. You want to distribute a card? You want to distribute the cards? I can send you a set, and then I can send to your PO box, send to your mail address, however you would love for them to get delivered to you. And I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right, bye bye.